Have you noticed a shift in the market? Have you noticed some of the key indicators happening right now? What do these situations look like in a day-to-day real estate transaction? Today, let's cover what we've been seeing, hearing, and experiencing for ourselves, some situations that realtors have been dealing with lately, evidence that's pointing to what the top of this curve looks like. This way, you're up to speed and you know exactly what's going on here in San Diego right now. Welcome back. I am Lynnor Anderson, one half of a father and daughter realtor team right here in San Diego County. As you know, the principles of leverage, supply, demand, and ROI still push appreciation. San Diego has proven to be a wise location for your investment dollars, but don't become complacent. Hey, don't lose track of why you're investing. Regardless of how successful you are, dealing with unexpected issues can really just make or break your investments. So, of course, you're right to want to understand how the current market affects your property values. You deserve expert guidance. Here are the details of what you need to know right now. There is a shift in the inventory, in sales prices, and in buyers' mindsets. The biggest impact that we've seen is in the residential market for both homes and condos. The shift that's happening is instead of 20 plus offers on every home, there's at best only a handful. Showings are a lot easier and more available for buyers, and we're not seeing those cutoff times for offers because the listing agent has too many on their table. About 6 weeks ago, we had less than 1,500 homes on the market in the San Diego MLS. Now, well, there's over 600 new listings this last week, and we are close to 2,500 homes on the market. Yes, there are still some bidding wars, but the numbers say that things are changing. Rate increases are continuing. In January, a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage was in the low 3% range. Now, just 4 months later, rates are in the low to mid 5% range and seem to be pushing higher daily. Buyers cannot afford what they could even just 1 month ago. Rates spiked so much that every buyer has lost a significant chunk of their buying power. Even if they do qualify, many are not comfortable with the new payment at the higher rate. We're witnessing more and more back on the market properties, all due to lenders not updating the pre-qualification letter that these with the latest rates. Yep, there are more back on the market properties for sure. Yet our values haven't decreased much. That's due to the overinflated sales prices that have closed in the last year or so. See, that all happened when rates were red hot, and those closed sales are now the comparables that the appraisers and the agents are using to support today's value. Appraisers will use closed comps from the last 6 months. Things were so hot for a while, we were only using the last 90 days of comps for pricing new listings, instead of the more traditional approach of using the last 180 days. And the same was ringing true for our buyer clients. Sales prices were jumping so fast. Looking at the closed sales from 6 months ago was in no way going to help our clients come up with an accurate offer price. So as long as we still have these super inflated sold comps for the next few months, don't expect to see a huge dip in the pricing. It is actually going to take a while for things to level off. We are seeing some price reductions in certain markets and on specific properties. Some are due to these overzealous sellers and their listing agents pricing property too high. Others are back on the market properties where the appraised value came in lower than the agreed upon sales price, and the buyer and the seller couldn't work out the difference. We are closing on a condo next week where something like this could have happened, but it didn't. We listed a condo in Mission Valley 3 weeks ago. The last sold comp was at $637,000. So because we're in a price increasing market, we bumped up the seller's condo list price and we went to $645,000. Not too much of a bump, right? Well, in 48 hours on the market, we had a couple of offers. Our seller got an offer for $679,000 with a VA buyer. Well, that buyer could have offered $1 million, but it really doesn't mean anything if they're getting financing. That property needed to appraise at $679,000, or this buyer would need to bridge any appraisal gap. Well, lo and behold, the property appraised at $655. It was great news for our seller, $10K over list price, but not so great for the buyers. See, that means that they needed to bring in an extra $24,000 to make up the difference. Well, luckily, we had a very reasonable seller. He decided to reduce the sales price to $670 even. He saved that buyer $9,000 in out-of-pocket funds to bridge the appraisal gap, and he created a win-win for both parties. Now, that veteran and his wife can buy their first place in San Diego, and they're not depleting their savings in the process. Unfortunately, though, not all negotiations are going to play out so well. So we will expect to see some appraisal gaps and some back on the market properties for some time to come. If you have lived in San Diego for any length of time, then you know there's micro markets here. You know, different little neighborhoods and zip codes that are running hotter and colder than others. Hey, if you are thinking about moving here, you're going to want to learn all about those different little communities. Either way, I'm sure you've got some questions about what's going on in the market. Hey, get in touch with us. We're happy to get you up to speed. Just give us a call, a text, or an email with all your questions. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next video.